I'm Paul Finck here, the Maverick Millionaire, and we are in my beautiful office today, hanging out here. And this is Maverick Mondays, where we do Facebook Live and communicate to all of you and our great community here in hanging out and having some fun and sharing. And Haley, cannot wait. Tomorrow is the big day. For all of you that don't know, tomorrow we are running to Jamaica and having our next summit there. Cannot wait to be participating and hanging out with a great, just amazing group of people and getting their journey going as to their next big adventure in what we're doing and creating in our worlds. So this is Paul Finck, again, the Maverick Millionaire, and we are here. I want to talk a little bit about authority today and what that really means in our environment, what that means in our world these days. Just making sure that everyone's on board. We got a couple other people. Hey, Tim, welcome aboard. Definitely check out Tim. He's got some great stuff going on with blogging. And so what is authority? You know, with so much of what I do in my world, it's all about presentation. It's all about perception as to who you are and what you're all about. And in this case, who I am and what I'm all about, and how my audience, which is my clients, my prospects, how everyone perceives me. And for all of you, your success will rely on how people perceive you. What do they see in you? What do they think when they look at you, when they look at your posts, when they look at what you're doing, when they see you on social media, when they get your emails? What do they think about your branding, your persona, who you are? You know, it used to be really simple. You wanted to stand out, you went from high school, you went to college, and you got a college degree. And that's how you stood out in the wave of applicants coming in for a new job. You would stand out because you had a college degree. And then they added on masters, and they added on doctorates, and they added all these certificates to the end of your name, that you could punch on all these different verbiage and the words, and then that would be your ticket. That would designate you as an authority in your field. That would designate you as an authority in your industry. And people could look up your license, look up your certifications, look up your degrees and say, yes, check. He's an expert. Things have kind of gotten skewed. There's still those professions that focus in on the degrees and tacking on degree after degree after degree and creating that in their persona and creating a hierarchy based on the number of degrees that you have and the specialty of your degrees. However, for most of us, there's a whole nother universe out there that has gotten created, especially in the last 10, 12 years because of social media. Because of, and I'll say even before then, with reality TV and what was going on there, it created, and then YouTube and YouTube videos that would go viral. We created a whole undercurrent of celebrity status people that just because they did something that made them stand out, they became a celebrity that everyone wanted to see, everyone wanted to run to their doorstep, and also everyone wanted to give them more money. And so their celebrity status created more income for them. And so then we got really interested. Hey, what's this about? And people started going on YouTube and creating more and more strange videos to get noticed. And then whoever would get viral in their videos would create that persona, create that celebrity status, and then create that income for themselves. So we've gone through, hey guys, we've gone through a few different stages of development as a society as to what authority looks like and what it can really mean for you. In this day and age, it's a combination of things. And for anyone that wants to create that authority, expertise, that celebrity status, if you will, anyone that wants to stand out in the marketplace, they've got to do a couple really key things. One is they've got to be active on the internet. And in this day and age, it's video. We are right here in Facebook Live, and as many different places as you can put video, that's where the action is. And so you want to create all this video content and sharing and connecting with people via video. You want to be on social media. You want to be everywhere in social media so that when they Google you, when they search for you, that is where you're showing up everywhere. So if you're only on Facebook, or you're only on Instagram, or you're only on YouTube, I would encourage you to get on every place. Welcome, guys. This is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. This is Maverick Mondays, and go ahead and comment below as I'm talking and I get on a roll and just start talking away. I want you to be able to comment below and really engage with the conversation as to what's going on, and tell me what you're doing. What are you doing to create that expert status, to stand out, if you will, from the crowd, to make sure that people know who you are and that they're aware of what you're doing? And yes, Terry, if you're commenting on it's working, meaning the internet's working, that's really good. Yes, we got that figured out. Had a few too many people streaming. Last week we had some challenges, and we had a few too many people streaming in my house. For all of you that may not know, I've got 6 children, 3 sets of twins, and when all of them are back home, and they are now with summer break and everything else, man, everyone using the internet can really create a fiasco. So we've made sure that they all are now aware of our new time at 2 o'clock, and they are cognizant not to all be streaming simultaneously. So we're good from this point forward. And it's we're talking about authority here. We're talking about what it takes to stand out, being on social media, being everywhere. Register for especially the top 5 and even the top 10 social media components out there. You know, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of these you want to be on, because when people Google you, every one of them becomes a line item in the search, and now they Google you and you're everywhere. Then you put on multiple videos and you really start getting clear with doing video content. You're going to be everywhere on YouTube, plus you're going to be in those other platforms with video as well. Well, now it really piles it on. So when people Google you, when people search for you, when people do a deeper dive, finding out where you are, what you're all about, they're going to find you everywhere. And that's really important for building this persona. How much time every day do you spend on social media marketing? What platform produces most responses? Interesting question. Carol, I miss you. And so great question, Lee. How much time do you spend? I will tell you, and here's where most people get hung up, is that they believe that everything they've got to do themselves. They believe everything is on them and they've got to participate fully in all that they're doing. Totally inaccurate, incorrect, not where you want to spend your time. Social media can be one of those components that creates a unending loss of valuable time in your day. And so for all of you just starting out, I would really limit it. And Lee, we're going to be talking next week or this week about some block timing and how to block out periods of your day for specifically doing tasks like social media engagement. And so when you block it out, one of the biggest challenges that most people have with social media is that man, you can get lost in the maze of it. You start in, oh yeah, I just want to post a little bit. Then you see a friend of yours pop up. Then you see a couple other interesting videos. Then you see this. You certainly don't want to step away because you'll lose them forever. And so you stay and you start researching and looking into and hanging out and participating in the community. And before you know it, it's 3, 4, or 5 hours later and you just lost your day. So what do you want to do? You want to actually create a block time, say 1 hour, I'm going to do social media. I'm going to do social media for 1 hour every day. Set your alarm. The second that alarm goes off, hit the road. Shift gears, go on to your next project, your next task at hand. It doesn't matter what you're doing on social media at the time. Stop and move on. Create that discipline to make it happen. You'll be so grateful you did. The rest of the story is that I also delegate huge chunks of what I do on social media. I delegate to other great teams of people. With that delegation, we're going to be talking more about that at the next roundtable in Vegas. You guys don't want to miss it. We're going to be going a deeper dive into what to do on social media and the teams of people that I utilize on social media and what they actually do. So we're going to be talking more about that at the roundtable. For those of you that don't know what the mastermind is, don't know what the roundtable is, you absolutely have to come and hang out at one of my events. I do 5, 6 events all around the country, all around the calendar year. All those events are 3 full days of me, just me training on stage. This isn't a sell-a-thon. It's not a lot of other people. It's only me there, and we talk about all these challenges about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So with social media, I delegate a ton of it because it can be a deep dive into Never Never Land when you are doing it all yourself. I usually recommend start off with 1 hour a day, block it out, set the alarm, and move on so that you get disciplined in just doing that amount of time. And what platform works best for you? That varies depending on what industry you're in and who your prospect is. Every specific platform has a demographic. And so you can highlight different categories. For instance, Snapchat and Instagram tend to be a younger audience than LinkedIn. They tend to be more of the art side of the world than they do of the business and corporate America side of the world. And so corporate America is more LinkedIn. Snapchat is more free form. So you can start getting a persona of all the different platforms and seeing if that persona fits with your target audience, then that would be the platform of choice for you to be going on, and that's where you're going to get the most engagement. For me, I still enjoy Facebook, although Instagram is a place that we're moving to more and more every single day because that's just where the action is. It's one of the fastest growing platforms in the marketplace right now. And so paying close attention to that and how to play in that arena. And as a guy that, well, I was around long before any of these platforms were in existence. All of this is a learning curve for me and really understanding how to utilize it. And I take deeper dives in learning this every single day, ongoing. When I first started, even in this business, Facebook wasn't in existence yet. Really hard to imagine, if you will. So absolutely keep paying attention to what's going on with social media. Start off with 1 or 2, register with a bunch, all with the same name, and then we'll take it from there, and we'll be talking more and more about that as we go along. Dom, welcome aboard. What comes first? Your expertise on a topic or the perception others have of you regarding your expertise? It's a little bit of both, and I'll talk about that. We're talking about authority and expertise, and where does it come from? For most of you that have been through my training, you know perception is everything. Is that people, if they perceive that you don't know anything, it doesn't matter what you say, they will assume you don't know anything. When they perceive that you do know, they will hang on your every word, assuming it's genius. It is the concept of the emperor's clothes. If you know the old fable of the emperor that had two new seamstress, new people fitting his new clothing, and they ended up making a mistake, and so they said, "Oh man, here," and they had nothing there to give him. And he tried it on, and they went on and on about how great it looked, only he had nothing on. He walked through the town, and at first they were shocked, and then they began to see the great threads he had, the great outfit he had on, and it was amazing. And the perception got shifted because people believed it so. Understand that that's half the battle. All too often, when we believe that we're not an expert, when we believe that we don't have anything of value for other people to listen to, they will prove you right. They will determine you don't have something of value for them to listen to, and they will stop listening or never listen in the first place and run away. And so how do you create the perception of value, the perception of expertise to attract the people to be able to speak to? For most, it is the concept that your expertise isn't about how much you know. It's absolutely about how much your audience knows. To a first grader, a fifth grader is genius. They are just God. They know everything. And so for most people, that's the equation that we want to look at and say, okay, who's my audience? Who am I talking to? And how can I create an expertise that will give them value? And so what you need is to create an expertise that's just a little bit more than your audience, so that you're giving value, you're giving things that they don't know, and they're beginning to perceive you as that expert. A couple things to do. So I talked about absolutely being on social media, getting out there and talking to the world. Most people want to participate in your life. They want to participate in what you're doing. When you just share, you automatically have a step up. In addition to that, there are pieces, and for many of you, you've seen this. This is Be a Success Maverick. We produced volume 1 last year, and this went to bestseller status. This has been all over the world now and back, as volumes after volumes are being ordered and being distributed all over the world. Now we are going for volume 2. So anyone that would be interested in being a part of just this dynamo, we're driving this to bestseller status. We're going to be creating volume 2 of Be a Success Maverick. And what it is the storylines of just phenomenal people who have created success, but they're ordinary people who've created extraordinary results by doing it just slightly different. So I created this, and I drove it to bestseller status. And in doing so, was able to create a persona and an image and a buzz around who I was, and even around who the other authors were, because there was a transfer of credibility. So I was able to transfer credibility, create a buzz for all the other authors as well, who all have a chapter in the book. And this creates you as an authority. Imagine, if you will, that you're a best-selling author, that you've got your book. And for any of you, hey, I want to share and make sure that everyone is playing and participating. You've got a book. You've got a book that you want to get publicity around. You've got a book that you want to drive to bestseller status. You've got a book that you published, whether it's this year, many, many years ago. Go ahead and put it right here. Go ahead and put the link to your Amazon, put the link to your website. Go ahead and put it down. No, I won't delete them. We want to have everyone participating, because people that read books They don't just read one book, they read many books. And so let's put a whole library of books together, which is why I'm producing volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and we're going to keep moving with this every single year, produce at least one volume of Be a Success Maverick. You have a book, go ahead and post it here, and let's get the word out so that the authority can be transferred, credibility will be transferred, and we all are able to position ourselves in that light. Anybody that's interested in participating in volume number 2, go ahead and DM me, comment below. We definitely are looking. We've got about 3 more spots available for the next volume, which will be coming out in a couple months from now. So absolutely DM me, reach out. And also realize that you can also be on the cover and have your name in a specialty custom covers, so your name is on it. And we've done this over and over again so that you can be creating all this yourself and have your name right on the cover. So anyone that wants to do that, this is a great opportunity. With all that, you're gonna be producing a book. So now here you are, you've are on social media. You've got YouTube videos talking about who you are, what you do, producing content and sharing your knowledge and information. 3, you've got a book, and you've got a book that's a bestseller status that you've got content in that is really valuable, and so you can be utilizing that book to get the word out. Once you are a best-selling author, this drives you to another level because people assume that you are a person of credibility, of integrity, that you have authority in the industry. All that happens when you have a book. So absolutely, creating a book is important. I also would say the same thing about having a stage and being doing a performance, doing a training, speaking to your audience in that way, absolutely valuable as well, and create yourself as an expert. All of this has nothing to do with the industry you're in. It doesn't matter what industry. These techniques can be adapted and adopted for every industry across the board. I've done it in dozens of different industries already, because it doesn't matter. Whatever industry that you're in, the prospects read books. Whatever industry that you're in, they're part of our society that values people that are authorities. And they assume when you have a book, you are an authority. And so be aware that that just pays huge dividends. Then when you go and speak, and whether you speak in a keynote speech, or whether you speak at a chamber of commerce, or whether you speak at a local networking club, or whether you create a day training and you advertise it yourself and bring people in, or maybe you do a bunch of even webinars online, being a trainer, being a speaker, brings you to another additional level of that authority, if you will, in the marketplace. Those are just some of the things I would recommend. Excellent, perfectly. We'll be talking about that in more detail. Caterpillar, butterfly. Better check out what Lee is talking about in her book, Caterpillar, Butterfly. The title alone is intriguing. So absolutely, authority. And by the way, I jumped into this with one assumption. The assumption was that you wanted to be an authority. You wanted to be an expert. Why would you ever want that to happen? Why is that so important? Because when you are, I alluded to it before when I said people become personas, they become celebrities. And in the newest of terms, they become known. And once you become known, people want to be by your side. They want to know what you have to say. They want to engage with you in some way. And so it doesn't matter what industry you're in, they're going to want to engage with you at a level that is more than even just this. And so they'll participate with you in whatever you're doing because you're an author, you're a trainer, you're a speaker, you're known. It was interesting. Years ago, I was on a show, and I'm not going to go into all the details of being on the show. Only I was on a show, and it wasn't one of those shows where you go, oh my gosh, he was on the show of the shows. It was a know nothing show, and so, but a lot of people saw it, and it wasn't painting me in the best light. It was just a kind of like an acting gig, if you will. And so I was a character in there. People got to know who I was just because they saw me on the show. What's fascinating is, as the years have gone on, what people paid attention to was that I was on the show. Didn't matter what I said. It didn't matter how I acted. It didn't matter who I was portraying. I was just on a show. And because of that, they wanted to talk to me. They wanted to participate with me. They wanted to engage me in conversation just because I was on the show. The same thing when you get to be known and you get to be viral of sorts on social media. When you have a book and you've got your name on the cover of the book, people want to know what you're about. They assume you're something because you're here. And that's all it takes. That's the secret. You want to share your message. You want to make sure that people know what you have to say and that they're paying attention to the message at hand. You've got to be known in the universe. You've got to be known in your public. You've got to be known to your prospects. How do you get known? These are the key components. These are the secrets. Create it in your world. Create it in your life. Absolutely. You've got a book, comment below. You want to share what you believe an authority is, what you believe an expert is. Go ahead and share that below as well. We are here to participate fully, to create the community, and to talk about what it means to do it different, to create the abundance in your world, to create all that you want, to create a life so that this could be your office every single day, like it is mine. Next week, my office is going to be a hot tub in the middle of Jamaica. God bless, and we're going to have such a great time. Doesn't mean that it diminishes the content. It just means that we're enjoying it in just a phenomenal atmosphere. So come join me for that. For all of you that aren't sure what I'm talking about, you absolutely got to come check me out at my events. I do events all around the calendar. The next one will be July 19th through the 21st in Las Vegas. Come and see what that's about, and we'll put links on here as well for that. All of you, thank you so much for being here. This is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. Create yourself to be an authority. Create yourself to be an expert. Put out the persona so that people will drive to you with abundance and create abundance for themselves and you as you share message back and forth. Go ahead and put your books and book titles down below and the links thereof, and I'll see you all soon. Take care now.